and we're just going to spend a little bit of time going through creating gym programs for your team. Okay, so we're just going to start right at the team room here, and we're going to use the tab at the top. So if we just click onto gym, that'll take us through to the gym area. Now what you can see is there are a few options here. There's the fitness program, fitness tests, and the rehab programs. We've also got the exercise videos where you can go and have a look and check out any techniques you're unsure of. You can see at the bottom here we've also got some recent programs of programs that have recently been created. We're going to focus on the moment at creating a gym program. Okay, so first step, we just create program, give it a title. We're a Sevens team, so I'm going to call it Sevens Fit 2 because we've already created one of those. Okay, give it a little description. You can put in there whatever you want. You might want to put in some instructions for your team, for example. Let's say at the moment I'm just going to keep it fairly short. You can then select the number of weeks. I'm going to go with 6 weeks. Okay, when you're creating your program, you won't actually see those 6 weeks, but they will be there in the player view for them to click through and record any weights that they've lifted. Okay, so now we're in the area where we can actually start to build our program. Okay, so we just go to add new session. And what you'll notice here, we can give it a title, but just below that there's a little drop down menu, and you've got the option of a resistance program for your weights, conditioning program where you can look at cycling, running or rowing, and you've got a plyometrics area also. Okay, as I say, we're just going to stick with resistance at the moment. Okay, and I'll just call it strength 1, and create that session there. So again, we've added another option. It's exactly the same process. Just click on add exercise. Again, we've got some different types. You can see there, we'll go for a lower body exercise, and what this will do will give you a number of options that you can choose to administer to your players, to your team. Okay, so we go back squat. Yeah, I'm going to do 3 sets. Let's just say we'll do 6 reps. The rest we put in seconds. Okay, so that's 120 seconds, obviously 2 minutes there. No rest in between the reps. And again, depending on your preference, you can select kilograms or pounds. Okay, we're going to work in kilograms for the moment. Now, what you can see here is you've got the exercise, we've got the back squat. Okay, the unit that's going to be lifted in, your sets, your reps, your rest. Okay, and here, really useful, you've got a little video link. Okay, all you need to do is click on that video link there, and that takes you through to one of our videos, which you can also see on YouTube in our Coach Logic channel. Okay, we're not going to watch through that at the moment. You can see the idea there. What you've also got is the opportunity to edit or delete any exercises. In the player view, this will be slightly different, and this area here is where they'll be entering the weight that they've lifted. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'll just add a few more exercises just so we can get a bit more of a feel for how that will actually look when you've got that completed. Okay, so coming back to now, we can see that we've got our program created there for your team to complete. What I'd like to do now is also just take you through the process of adding conditioning session. Alright, it's exactly the same thing. Yep, I'm just going to call that running 1 because that's what we're going to do. Again, we just create session, and then what this will do now is when you go to add exercise, it's going to give you slightly different options. So at the moment what we've got is we've got cycling, rowing and running, just to allow you to create some conditioning sessions for them to do whenever you want them to. Okay, so we're going to put in 20 metres. Here we're going to do 3 sets, 8 reps there, and let's give them a decent amount of rest. So we'll give them 240 seconds in between the rests. Okay, and we'll give them a 30-second recovery during each rep there. Okay, so that's us created that. Again, exactly the same process we go through. We could add some more distances, which is what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so now we've got our weight session that we can see. We've got our running session. Last thing to do is we're going to give them a plyometric session. Okay, we go through exactly the same process again. I'll just call this lower body plyos. Okay, and we're going to select plyometrics, create session, and we're up and running again. Okay, so add exercise. Yep, just going to go and do some depth jumps. 3 sets, 5 reps. Again, we'll give them quite a lot of rest at the moment. We'll give them a little bit of rest in between each set, just in between each rep, just so they're not rushing through them. Okay, and there we go there. So again, I'm just going to add a couple extra exercises just so you can get a feel for how that's going to look. Okay, so now we can see we've got our plyometric session, we've got our running session for our conditioning, and we've got our strength session right at the top there with a mixture of exercises. Just look at what you'll have here in the conditioning section and the plyometrics. Rather than being an area for the players to complete the weight that they've lifted, what we'll actually have here is a space just for them to tick off that they've completed, which allows you to keep track. Okay, and exactly the same thing in the plyometrics. Okay, next thing, what you can do is obviously you want to make sure your players are doing that. So first of all, always a good idea to save your work as you go along. Okay, I'm going to re-enter that program again. Okay, and what you've now got is your players at the bottom. So who needs to do this program? You can select the whole of the squad if you want to do that, if you all think they're in a position that that's the program that you want them to do. Or what you can do is you can individually select players, okay, that you think require that specific program. Okay, once you've done that, you can click publish, and away they go. They'll get a little email just to let them know there's a program sitting there waiting for them. What's really good about this is what you can then do is if you click on your players, you can go in and see the different players available to you, and you can actually see how much that program they've completed. So you click on progress, okay, and once they've completed it, you'll see some kilogram weights in there, so the weights they've actually lifted. You'll see that they've completed their running session. You'll see that they've completed their plyometric session. And again, you can just click through those weeks. Okay, so again, we just head back to the different programs there, and that's this. Okay, thanks for now.